Welcome to the reality you feel in your bones but are afraid to ask your accountant about. Have you ever wondered why everything around looks so expensive, new, and shiny, yet you constantly have that pit in your stomach from fear of tomorrow? Why are cities being built up with mirrored skyscrapers, yet you cannot afford a trip to the dentist without a credit card? The answer is simple, and you are not going to like it. We are no longer growing. We are just rewriting price tags on the ruins of our future. We have replaced creation with borrowing, and progress with an IOU. And today on the channel, The Verdict, Economy, we will lance this boil. We will break down how debt has become the only fuel of the global economy and why that engine is about to fly apart. Look at the official GDP numbers. Politicians on TV are beaming, the economy grew by 2%. We have beaten stagnation. But let us engage our brains. If I borrow $100 from my neighbor and spend it at a bar, have I become richer? Has my well-being increased? According to official statistics, yes. I created consumer demand. I increased the bar's turnover. I contributed to GDP. But in reality, I simply drank away my future's money. Today's growth in global GDP is a statistical hallucination. Almost every percentage of this growth is backed by new loans. We are not producing more goods or services, we are simply printing more obligations to buy what already exists. This is not economic growth, it is tumor growth. We celebrate increases in report numbers, ignoring the fact that for every dollar of new GDP, there are $3, $4, $5 of new debt. We have turned into an addict who thinks success is finding a vein for the next fix. I remember believing in the American dream 10 years ago. I believed that if you work, you grow. But then I started studying central bank reports and realized, we have committed an act of grand theft against ourselves. We are using the debt time machine to shift consumption from the future to today. Every time you take out a loan for a new car you cannot afford, or when the government borrows $1 trillion for another infrastructure project that will never pay for itself, we are literally stealing a piece of bread from ourselves in 2040. We are eating today what we should have eaten tomorrow. And the problem is that, tomorrow will still come. And when it comes, there will be nothing there. There will be no new cars, no savings, no resources. Only an empty plate and a huge bill with interest. We are building a society that lives at the peak of its capacity right now, at the cost of guaranteed starvation in the future. And to keep this circus going, the system is forced to prop up zombie sectors. Vast swaths of the economy, airlines, automakers, construction giants, stopped being efficient long ago. In normal capitalism, they should have gone bankrupt and made way for the young and bold. But no. The government pours in subsidies because they are too big to fail. Those subsidies are also debt. We are spending future resources to keep the corpses of the past from dying. We feed dinosaurs instead of letting mammals grow. This kills innovation. This kills motivation. Why be efficient when you can be loyal and get a check from the Treasury? We have turned the economy into a hospice where the most decrepit patients get the best food at the expense of those not even born yet. The peak of this madness came during the pandemic. Helicopter money. Remember those checks in mailboxes? That was the moment of truth for the debt model. When the real sector shut down, when people stopped producing, the system simply pressed the print button. Trillions of dollars fell from the sky. And what happened? Did we feel rich? For a moment, yes. Then came inflation. That helicopter money did not create a single loaf of bread, not a single computer chip. It simply devalued everything we had earned through honest work. That was the end of the illusion, an attempt to replace the real economic cycle with an endless flow of debt. Now we are hung over from that party, and our heads will ache for decades. Look where the money goes. Instead of investing in fixed capital, factories, new technologies, training people, capital flows into financial speculation. Why build a complex factory with a 15-year payback when you can take out a cheap loan and buy back your own stock to boost its price and get a bonus? This is cannibalism. Corporations eat their own potential for the sake of current stock prices. We have stopped investing in reality and started investing in charts. America's infrastructure is rotting, bridges are collapsing, power grids are on their last legs, but the stock market is at all-time highs. That is the face of the dead economy, a shiny facade on rotten beams. We are buying candy wrappers while the candy factory itself falls apart. This creates an illusion of wealth. You look at your house, which has doubled in price in 5 years, and you think, I am rich. But you forget that your mortgage debt is still there, and taxes and the cost of living have risen along with the house price. Most people today live with negative net worth. If you sold everything you own and tried to pay off all your debts, many of you would be left with a donut hole. We are a generation of paper millionaires who cannot afford a broken washing machine without a new line of credit. Our wealth is debt we have been allowed not to repay today. It is not capital. It is shackles painted gold. All our politics is now hostage to the bond market. Governments no longer serve the people, they serve the creditors. If the bond market wavers, if investors stop believing in the government's ability to pay its debts, everything will collapse in hours. So politicians make decisions not based on what is good for the country, but on what will not scare the money bags. We have lost the right to make independent decisions. Social programs, military spending, environmental initiatives, all of this exists only as long as we are allowed to borrow. We are a great power standing on a church porch with our hand out to global financial institutions. And here the trap snaps shut. Central banks cannot raise rates high enough to beat inflation, because then the cost of servicing government debt would exceed the entire defense budget. If they raise rates to real levels, the budget will simply burst. The government will go bankrupt. And if they do not raise rates, inflation will eat your savings. This is zugzwang. Every move leads to disaster. They chose slow death by inflation, because fast death by budget bankruptcy would be the end of their political careers. They are saving their seats by burning your purchasing power. We have effectively lost financial sovereignty. Creditors now dictate the terms. And these are not only other countries, they are giant investment funds that control capital flows. We are no longer masters of our own house. We are tenants who are 3 years behind on the rent and hope the landlord does not come to evict us this Thursday. It is humiliating. It is dangerous. And it is the end of the freedom we were told about in school. My verdict is cold and honest: we are building a skyscraper on a foundation of unpaid bills. Every new floor is another trillion in debt. The building looks majestic, it gleams in the rays of the setting sun, but the foundation is already cracking. You cannot fool math forever. Debt that cannot be repaid will not be repaid. It will either be written off through a global default that will plunge the world into chaos, or destroyed through hyperinflation that will turn your lives into a struggle for survival. We traded sustainable growth for cheap borrowed thrills. And the time to pay the bill is approaching. Enjoy the view from the top floor while you can, because gravity is the only thing in this economy that still works without glitches. We are done.